Have you ever wondered why so many elderly individuals seem to prefer solitude over social gatherings? What drives them to choose quiet independence instead of seeking new friendships? In this video, we will delve into the profound reasons behind this choice, revealing insights that challenge our perceptions of aging and connection. Stay tuned as we explore the beauty of inner peace, self-reliance, and the freedom that comes from living authentically. You'll learn how many older adults embrace their solitude not out of loneliness, but as a conscious decision to cherish their life experiences. By the end of this video, you'll understand that their journey is not about isolation. It's about empowerment and self-discovery. You'll discover practical wisdom that can inspire your own life, whether you're navigating relationships, seeking fulfillment, or simply trying to find peace in a busy world. Join us as we uncover the hidden gems of aging gracefully and the unexpected joys of slowing down. Don't miss this opportunity to gain a deeper appreciation for the lives of older adults and the valuable lessons they can teach us all. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. Fatigue from constantly building or maintaining new relationships. In the later stages of life, the effort to constantly build or maintain new relationships often brings more weariness than excitement. What once felt like a thrilling journey of exploration and bonding, filled with anticipation and the thrill of connecting, now seems like a well-traveled path. For many older adults, the allure of continuously opening up to new people, sharing personal stories, or integrating into fresh social circles has faded, not out of disinterest, but because they've already embraced so much. Their hearts are filled with memories, experiences, and emotions from a lifetime of companionship, love, and understanding. It feels like a mission fulfilled, and the need to prove or relive it is no longer pressing. Aging offers the gift of freedom, a gentle release from the societal pressures to constantly expand one's social network. There's a profound satisfaction in realizing they no longer need to stretch themselves thin to meet the expectations of others. They've given enough, listened enough, felt deeply enough. It's as if they've tasted every flavor of friendship, absorbed every lesson, and crossed every emotional bridge. Now, in these later years, they can simply enjoy the peace of being present with themselves, without the demands of social upkeep. There's a comfort in turning inward, finding peace in solitude, and letting go of the need to constantly give pieces of themselves to new acquaintances. Maintaining relationships, especially as we grow older, can feel like tending a fire that no longer warms in the same way it once did. The effort of stoking the flames, and keeping them alive, can become a tiring ritual rather than a source of comfort. Older adults, in their wisdom, understand that not every connection needs to endure forever. Some relationships are meant to be enjoyed for a season, leaving behind warm memories and cherished moments. And with age comes the serenity to look back at those moments without longing, only appreciation. Letting go of these ties isn't an act of shutting down or closing off. It's a conscious choice to release what no longer serves their inner peace. This decision to step back is a liberation, a soft yet powerful embrace of independence. There's no longer a need to seek approval or validation from others to feel complete. The journey, the triumphs and heartbreaks, the friendships won and lost, has shaped them into a whole person, someone who has found completeness within. There's a calm, rooted happiness in knowing they no longer need external validation to reinforce their self-worth. Their identity isn't defined by who they know or how many people they interact with. It is defined by the quiet confidence they carry within themselves. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. In the earlier years of life, we often chase connections, hoping to fill gaps or find reflections of ourselves in others. But in these later years, the deepest fulfillment often comes from within. It is a peace that doesn't need to be filled with new faces or conversations. It's a quiet contentment, a gentle joy in simply being. The fatigue of keeping up with relationships isn't a sign of bitterness or closing off. It's an acknowledgement that the most meaningful relationship one can have is with oneself. For many older adults, happiness isn't about novelty or fresh encounters. It's about living with a tranquil soul, observing life with a calm mind, and cherishing simplicity. This gentle wisdom, the understanding that true happiness flows from inner peace rather than from the acceptance of others, is perhaps one of the greatest gifts of aging. It's a stage where the heart finds freedom in solitude, and joy doesn't need validation. The contentment they feel isn't from the people around them, but from the quiet harmony within. And in this wisdom, they find their strength, not in keeping relationships alive, but in cherishing the memories, embracing the past, and relishing the peace of their own company. 2. Prioritizing personal time and freedom in later years. Time becomes an irreplaceable treasure in the later stages of life, a precious gift that seniors now choose to hold close, savoring each moment rather than scattering it across obligations and social expectations. After a lifetime spent building careers, nurturing family, and fostering connections, many older adults feel an almost overwhelming pull to finally focus inward, reclaiming time for themselves. They sense these years are like the cherished final chapters of a beloved novel, with each line imbued with deep meaning, each page turned slowly, each moment lived with an appreciation only age can bring. Aging reveals a profound, extraordinary freedom, a liberation from the endless cycle of meeting others' expectations, putting on appearances, from sustaining connections that may no longer bring joy or fulfillment. This freedom isn't just about a few spare hours here and there. It's an immense sense of peace and acceptance, the permission to finally live authentically. In these later years, many embrace a long-awaited opportunity to indulge unapologetically in the things they genuinely love, free from the weight of others' judgments. It's a rediscovery of forgotten passions, those little pleasures once tucked away, waiting for someday. That someday is now, and they joyfully return to the garden, the quiet pleasure of reading, or the timeless act of watching a sunset, with no schedule pressing on them. In these small acts, they find pure contentment, a quiet happiness that fills the soul. In a society that often measures happiness by the number of our social interactions and the frequency of our achievements, older adults discover a beautiful truth often missed by others. Fulfillment and peace can come from within, not from external validation. They understand that happiness isn't defined by a packed calendar or a crowd of acquaintances, but rather by the quiet company of oneself. Time alone doesn't mean isolation. It's a chance to listen to the heart, to follow what resonates deeply. With wisdom, they no longer feel the need to engage in shallow conversations or keep up relationships that feel like a chore. Instead, they cherish the power to choose, freedom to enjoy life on their terms, untouched by society's expectations or pressures. This newfound freedom transforms their perspective on life, encouraging a serene acceptance. They no longer feel the need to win approval, to please everyone, or to be seen in certain circles. Instead, they slow down, allowing themselves the luxury of living fully in the present. They find warmth in each day, noticing the beauty in life's simplest joys that were once rushed through or overlooked. By stepping back from the relentless drive to socialize or keep up with others, they don't feel a sense of loss but rather a sense of clarity. This decision to embrace their own company, to live in peace, is a choice that fills their final chapters with the richness of tranquility and the pure, unfiltered happiness that only comes from within. 3. The fear of loss or changes in relationships. The fear of loss and the inevitable changes in relationships is a profound and haunting reality, especially for those in their later years. For many seniors, it isn't just a fleeting worry. It's an ever-present shadow that influences how they approach their connections with others. Having journeyed through life's kaleidoscope of experiences, deep friendships, romantic loves, and the comforting embrace of family, they carry the bittersweet knowledge that nothing lasts forever. They have watched treasured relationships slip away, seen loved ones drift or depart, and felt the subtle shifts in emotional ties that once seemed unbreakable. These experiences shape their cautiousness. Rather than opening up to new relationships or maintaining demanding social connections, they often choose the safety of solitude. Loss in relationships is not confined to physical separation. It's the sorrow of seeing a friend's once brilliant mind fade, feeling a widening emotional distance, or sensing a growing divide in values and life perspectives. For many older adults, forming new connections feels like inviting potential heartbreak. They know all too well how time can slowly erode feelings and create silent gaps that no words can fill. The wounds of past losses whisper reminders that sometimes, keeping one's heart guarded is the safest way to avoid the inevitable sting of parting. Opting for an independent, quiet life isn't a retreat out of loneliness or pessimism. It's a self-protective act, a way of shielding themselves from emotional turmoil if a cherished relationship begins to lose its meaning or fades altogether. This fear of loss extends to an even deeper level, involving not only others but also fears around personal change and self-transformation. Aging brings with it physical frailties, health concerns, and perhaps the most unsettling change, the possibility of losing the very essence of oneself. Many seniors worry that they may no longer be able to maintain close friendships or, even more painfully, that they might one day become a burden. The thought of disappointing family members, or being unable to contribute fully in friendships, looms over them. In a way, these concerns serve as an invisible barrier that keeps them from fully investing in new connections. For many older adults, loss and separation aren't just abstract fears, they are deeply felt, lived realities. They have lost spouses, close friends, and even children in some cases. Each loss leaves a scar, each departure a weight that quietly adds to their reluctance to open up again. It's as if they carry a catalog of grief in their hearts, a quiet testament to all the bonds they once cherished but could no longer hold on to. With each farewell, the pain accumulates, shaping a cautiousness that is hard to shed. They have learned, sometimes painfully, that happiness and companionship can vanish in an instant. This understanding leads to strict selectiveness in maintaining relationships, preserving only those that bring true peace and avoiding anything that could disturb their emotional stability. There is also a poignant philosophical acceptance woven into this fear. For those who have faced the impermanence of life and the reality of death, there is a gentle resignation that all relationships, no matter how cherished, will one day end. They understand that clinging to people or things is futile and that everything and everyone has an endpoint. This profound acceptance makes them turn inward, finding a quiet peace within themselves, building a world where they don't depend on the presence or approval of others. Their choice to keep social interactions limited is not a sign of giving up, it's a graceful acknowledgement of life's transient nature. They understand that the true essence of freedom is not in clinging but in letting go. In their later years, they embrace a delicate balance of solitude and self-contentment. The decision to let go of what no longer serves them is not an act of despair but one of deep wisdom. In the quiet moments, they find joy in the simplicity of the present, free from the need for external validation. They understand that peace and fulfillment come from within, a place untouched by the tides of loss and change. And in this acceptance, they find a liberating truth. Life's beauty lies in its impermanence, and by letting go, they discover a new kind of wholeness that is all their own. 4. Shifts in perception and life values. As the years pass and life's experiences accumulate, older adults carry with them an expanded awareness, a profound, often bittersweet wisdom that only time can impart. They find themselves in a season of deep reflection, understanding that the values they once clung to in their younger years, like social approval, recognition, and even romantic pursuits, no longer hold the same allure. What was once a relentless drive to achieve and connect begins to fade, replaced by a softer, more meaningful journey toward peace, acceptance, and inner contentment. This shift in perception is not a surrender but a blossoming opportunity to live with a purpose that aligns with the heart's deepest yearnings. In this phase, seniors start to see life through a new lens, one stripped of pretense and filled with simplicity and sincerity. The significance of having a vast social network or frequent social engagements wanes. It becomes crystal clear that real value is found not in the quantity of friends or social outings, but in the quality of relationships that provide genuine understanding and empathy. There's a purity to this realization, A beautiful acceptance that surface-level connections may have served a purpose once but are no longer essential. Each relationship they choose to keep enriches their life on a deeper level. As they approach this stage, many find that the greatest form of fulfillment comes not from building an image for others, but from finally understanding and accepting themselves. This newfound clarity pushes them to reassess the values they held dear throughout life, letting go of things that no longer bring them joy or meaning. They begin to live more intentionally, more slowly, choosing not to rush or to chase things beyond their reach. Free from the pressure of societal expectations, they now prioritize the things that bring genuine happiness, embracing solitude and reflection over the noise of external validation. One of the most profound shifts in perception is the deep appreciation for inner tranquility. Older adults come to realize that true peace isn't found in the temporary thrill of social gatherings or the validation of a large network. It's found in quiet moments spent in harmony with oneself and with nature. The activities they once enjoyed, attending parties, maintaining acquaintances, expanding social circles, start to lose their appeal. Instead, they seek fulfillment in moments of solitude, whether through meditation, a walk in the park, or simply sitting in silence, taking in the beauty of the world around them. This acceptance of life's fleeting nature brings with it a gentle wisdom, the ability to let go. Letting go of unnecessary possessions, unrealistic expectations, and even relationships that no longer align with their soul's needs. This shift brings lightness and serenity, freeing them from the burdens they once carried. It's not about filling life with endless new experiences or the bustle of social interaction. It's about finding peace in one's own company, savoring the stillness and depth that comes with mindful, quiet companionship with oneself. Ultimately, this evolution in life values allows older adults to live more authentically. They are no longer confined by roles, no longer feeling the need to mask their true selves to meet others' expectations. They embrace their journey, honoring the life they've lived and the wisdom they've gained. Choosing not to visit others often or forge new friendships is not a rejection of society but a graceful acceptance of who they are and what they truly need. It is a mindful choice to cherish every moment with themselves and the few things that still matter, cultivating a profound sense of contentment, peace, and gratitude that radiates from within. 5. High self-reliance and the desire not to depend on others. Old age becomes a cherished chapter where individuals can fully embrace their independence and self-reliance, often for the first time in decades. After a lifetime of interconnectedness, raising families, working in teams, contributing to society, and meeting the needs of others, many seniors feel a powerful urge to reclaim their autonomy. This isn't just about the practical ability to manage their daily lives. It's about a philosophy that resonates deeply within them. A philosophy that honors freedom, self-respect, and a life lived with purpose. As they navigate this new phase, there is an undeniable satisfaction in being able to say, "I can still do this." Every action, no matter how routine, like preparing their meals or planning a day out, becomes a symbol of strength, a personal testament that they are still fully capable of steering their lives. These small, self-affirming gestures bring a profound sense of fulfillment, reminding them of their resilience and worth. One of the core reasons behind this commitment to self-reliance is a deeply ingrained fear of becoming a burden. The thought of imposing on loved ones, of needing assistance, or causing worry, can be heart-wrenching for many older adults. Having spent much of their lives ensuring the well-being of others, it's difficult to imagine roles reversed, where they're the ones who might require help. The mere idea of their children losing sleep over their needs or friends rearranging their lives to accommodate them is unsettling. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Self-reliance, then, becomes a source of pride and dignity, a way to ensure they maintain control over their lives without feeling they are imposing on others. For some, even the simplest help from others can stir feelings of discomfort, embarrassment, or vulnerability. Handling challenges independently, whether it's managing finances or handling household chores, becomes a personal commitment to uphold their self-worth and avoid any dependency that might make them feel diminished. This independence doesn't stop at physical or financial aspects. It profoundly influences their social connections and interactions. Many seniors choose to keep their social circles small and select their friendships carefully, sometimes even avoiding new relationships altogether. The reason isn't a lack of interest in companionship, but rather a careful weighing of the responsibilities and expectations that often come with deeper connections. Older adults often fear that forming close ties with new people might lead to new obligations, expectations to spend time together, to share personal matters, or to lend support during difficult times. The balance and peace they've cultivated can feel fragile, and they worry that additional relationships might disrupt this carefully maintained tranquility. By keeping a gentle distance, they feel they can live more freely, without the unspoken pressure that often accompanies close social bonds. This decision to live self-reliantly is not an indication of loneliness or isolation, but rather an affirmation of their resilient, independent spirit. There's a strength in this quiet confidence, a silent self-assurance that communicates, "I am enough, just as I am." Their independence allows them to prioritize only the activities and experiences that genuinely bring them joy and contentment. Rather than dedicating time and energy to social commitments, they invest in personal passions that require nothing but their engagement and bring them immense satisfaction. Whether it's the calming ritual of tending to their garden, the pleasure of cooking a meal exactly as they like it, or the simple joy of taking a quiet walk through the park, these seemingly ordinary activities become a celebration of their ability to care for themselves. Each moment is a reminder that they are still fully in control of their happiness. In truth, their desire for independence doesn't mean they reject companionship or connection altogether. It's more of a conscious choice to protect their peace, to avoid the complications and potential disappointments that can come from relying on others. By focusing on themselves, they create a calm, secure environment where they can thrive. They are deeply attuned to the simple joys in life and have an unmatched appreciation for the freedom to make decisions that align with their values and desires. Their days are shaped by the things that matter most to them, without feeling the need to meet anyone's expectations but their own. This stage of self-reliance is more than just an approach to life. It's a personal triumph. It reflects the wisdom of years, the strength that comes from facing life's challenges and emerging with a renewed commitment to oneself. It's a celebration of a life they have worked tirelessly to build, and now they have the freedom to fully enjoy it on their terms. This independence, this steadfast dedication to self-reliance, is more than a lifestyle choice. It's an embodiment of pride, resilience, and the ultimate freedom that comes from living a life that is wholly theirs. 6. Appreciating and choosing to live life at a slower pace. As the years go by, there comes a beautiful realization for many older adults. Life doesn't have to be a race. The frantic rush to meet deadlines, the constant pressure to achieve society's ideals, and the endless chase of material success gradually lose their appeal. In their place, a deep appreciation for the here and now takes root. Older adults find that living at a slower pace brings joy so profound it feels like a long-lost friend returning home. It's a choice, a conscious decision to embrace each day, every breath, and every simple pleasure life offers. This slower rhythm isn't a sign of fading energy. It's a deliberate path to peace and happiness. Choosing to live more slowly becomes a way of reclaiming the freedom to simply be, rather than constantly striving to do. It's a release from the pressures and expectations that society once placed on them. Pressures to climb career ladders, keep up appearances, or fit neatly into roles others expect. They've done the late nights and the early mornings. They've poured themselves into their work and relationships. And now, they're choosing freedom. This slower pace isn't a retreat. It's an entry into a richer world where every moment holds beauty. Whether it's the golden morning light pouring through the window, the gentle rustling of leaves, or the simple pleasure of a warm cup of tea. In this stage of life, living slowly doesn't mean inactivity or isolation. Instead, it's about achieving a balance that harmonizes their inner self with the outer world. It's about fully engaging the senses in all that's good and nourishing. They take time to savor every bite of a meal, relish every page of a beloved book, and fully absorb every heartfelt conversation. There's no rush, no urge to fast forward through these experiences. This appreciation brings a special kind of happiness, a quiet, sustained joy that comes from truly living each moment and making every second count. This slower pace also fosters a new understanding: the power of letting go. Gone are the days when their worth was tied to what they achieved or how others viewed them. They no longer feel the need to prove themselves, chase ambitious goals, or maintain a certain image. Instead, they learn to let go of worries, societal standards, and distant dreams that don't resonate anymore. They find peace in being content with who they are. It takes a strong heart to live this way, a heart brave enough to embrace a life lived on one's own terms, without comparison or competition. Through this intentional slowing down, older adults come to understand life's most profound value. They find that true happiness isn't about monumental achievements or bustling social gatherings. It's in the simplest moments: the comfort of waking up in the morning, the shade of a tree on a sunny afternoon, or the quiet beauty of a star-filled night. By slowing down, they can feel the interconnectedness of all things and sense that every breath, every heartbeat, holds a timeless quality that links them to the universe itself. With this pace, they can also nurture both body and mind. They no longer rush through meals or sacrifice rest for work. Instead, they listen closely to their bodies, gently taking care of themselves. They make time for light exercise and eat mindfully and restfully. They cultivate practices that nourish their spirits, whether it's meditation, journaling, or just sitting in silence to reflect on life. These precious moments restore not only the body but bring peace and renewal to the mind, allowing them to feel refreshed in ways they may have never known before. Ultimately, choosing a slower pace is a wise and courageous choice. It's a testament to a life well lived, a sign of respect for one's journey and oneself. By embracing this quiet rhythm, older adults let go of unnecessary noise and discover that true joy doesn't need an audience or a round of applause. Life doesn't have to be fast-paced or chaotic to be meaningful, and happiness doesn't depend on external validation. Within this gentle pace, they find something priceless, a deep and abiding peace that flows from within. This contentment is a gift they give to themselves, a beautiful life lived genuinely, with grace and gratitude on their terms. 7. Changes in living environment and health. Aging is an experience that brings a quiet shift in both body and mind, one that can feel as tender as it is unrelenting. As the years add up, physical resilience fades, and mental sharpness softens, leaving seniors with a profound awareness of their own limitations. For many, these changes mean an unavoidable rethinking of how they connect with the world, and especially how they navigate the complex landscape of relationships and social engagement. It's not just a question of slowing down. It's a deep transformation that touches every aspect of their lives, from daily routines to the very way they define happiness. Health and the living environment become the pillars of their well-being, offering a place of security amid an otherwise rapidly changing world. Health limitations, once minor nuisances, can evolve into significant barriers, reshaping everything from basic activities to the once joyous task of maintaining friendships. Every step may feel heavier, every outing a bit more daunting. When pain accompanies even the simplest movements, even the prospect of a casual gathering can feel like an insurmountable task. Imagine, for instance, the quiet struggle of simply getting dressed to meet a friend or navigating the unfamiliar spaces of a social venue with cautious, slow steps. What once felt like a seamless part of daily life can now seem exhausting, sometimes to the point where the anticipation of it brings more anxiety than excitement. For many seniors, this shift leads to a reevaluation of the importance of socializing, and they may choose the solace of familiar, quiet spaces over the energy of social settings. Equally impactful, if not more so, is the emotional toll of leaving a long-time home, a space filled with memories, and moving to a new, unfamiliar environment. This kind of change is far more than just a change in scenery. It's a disorienting experience that can feel like leaving behind a part of one's very self. Home is not just a place to live, but a refuge filled with the echoes of cherished memories, the smell of morning coffee, the comfort of a favorite chair, and the marks on the wall that tell the story of children growing up. Being forced to relocate, whether to an assisted living facility or a relative's home, can feel like an uprooting of not only one's surroundings but also of one's sense of identity. Entering a new environment can feel bewildering, especially as the senior must navigate unfamiliar faces, routines, and social norms, often with a heavy heart. Forming new connections can feel almost impossible, and instead of the warmth of past relationships, there may be a sense of distance and loss that makes reaching out to others feel like an insurmountable challenge. The mental and emotional impact of aging adds another layer to this journey. For those who once thrived on social interaction, the gradual decline in mental sharpness, sometimes manifesting as memory lapses or difficulty following conversations, can bring on a deep sense of insecurity. For some, it might be forgetting the name of an old friend or struggling to recall a detail from a conversation shared only days before. These little slips may seem small to others, but to the senior, they can feel like tiny pieces of identity slipping away, leaving them unsure of who they are or how they might be perceived. This shift can be profoundly isolating, as they might worry about slowing down the conversation or unintentionally repeating themselves. Some may find themselves pulling back from conversations, fearful of being judged or pitted, preferring the quiet peace of solitude where these insecurities need not surface. In moments like these, many older adults find comfort in the simplicity and peace of their personal spaces. Instead of pushing themselves to meet others' expectations, they are drawn to familiar, slow-paced activities that bring them a sense of contentment without the need for external validation. Sitting down with a cup of tea, lost in the pages of a beloved book, or quietly watching birds flit around a garden, can offer a depth of satisfaction that social gatherings no longer seem to provide. These gentle rituals, often carried out in quiet solitude, fill their days with small yet profound moments of joy and reflection. It's as if they've rediscovered the pleasure of simply being, without the need for doing or achieving, finding fulfillment in each moment as it is, without needing anyone else to validate or share it. In the face of these changes, many seniors come to embrace a newfound wisdom that speaks to a deeper truth: that life's value does not necessarily hinge on maintaining constant social interaction or building new relationships. There is a quiet strength in this realization, one that lets them release societal expectations and focus on the inner journey that becomes so much richer with age. Where once they may have drawn fulfillment from social gatherings, they now find meaning in their presence, in memories, and in a life lived fully, even if that means fewer people around to witness it. With health challenges sometimes restricting their physical world, their focus sharpens on the inner world, which becomes a sanctuary of peace and acceptance. This shift is not one of surrender but rather one of wisdom, a choice to step away from the pressures of social obligation and instead honor the journey they have taken. As their world grows smaller, they find new joy in what remains, learning to appreciate the gentle pleasures that each day offers. They come to realize that, sometimes, a slow walk alone at dawn or a moment of quiet contemplation can bring a sense of completeness that was once sought in the company of others. It's not that they don't love or miss the people in their lives. Rather, it's that they have found a way to carry these relationships within themselves, even when physical presence is no longer possible or practical. For many, this path leads to a profound sense of peace, an understanding that they don't need to prove anything or seek external validation. The world outside may see this as a retreat, but for the seniors, it is a sacred reclamation of their own life, living on their terms. The focus shifts from seeking external validation to cherishing internal peace. Their homes, their quiet activities, and their memories become treasures beyond measure, reminding them of the life they've lived, full of love, laughter, and the satisfaction of having experienced so much. In these quiet days, many come to understand that fulfillment is not found in the quantity of relationships but in the quality of connection they have with themselves. In choosing a quieter, slower-paced life, they are not escaping the world. They are honoring the unique path they've traveled, embracing a lifestyle that allows them to savor each moment fully. This decision isn't one of withdrawal but of self-respect, a wise and deeply fulfilling choice to embrace life as it is, within the bounds of what feels manageable and meaningful. In these moments, seniors redefine what it means to live fully, finding joy not in the expectations of others but in the grace and wisdom that come with simply being themselves, free from the need for validation or approval. 8. Concerns over complexity and conflict in relationships. As we progress through life, we often gain a newfound appreciation for simplicity, calmness, and the quiet joys of existence. For many older adults, this shift becomes a deeply rooted philosophy, born from years of navigating life's inevitable ups and downs. They've weathered countless relationships, confronted misunderstandings, reconciled differences, and shouldered the strain of social expectations. By the time they reach the later stages of life, these experiences transform into a kind of wisdom, a recognition that not every relationship or interaction is worth the cost of their peace. Many come to view their later years as a time to prioritize inner calm over external validation, choosing a simpler, gentler way of living that places fewer demands on their hearts and minds. This choice is not about closing off from the world, but rather about embracing a newfound balance that gently nurtures the soul. One of the most pressing concerns for older adults is the fear of value clashes with those around them. Having cultivated their own set of beliefs, morals, and values, they now find it challenging to reconcile these deeply held principles with the often contrasting perspectives of younger generations. Younger people, filled with energy and often brimming with new ideas, bring with them fresh, bold perspectives that can be at odds with the more traditional values held by their older counterparts. Whether it's opinions on parenting, politics, religion, or financial matters, these differences can feel daunting, even insurmountable, to seniors who have spent a lifetime refining their worldview. Confronting these differences, for many older adults, can feel like stepping into an internal storm. Tension, fatigue, and the unnerving sensation of being swept up in a world that no longer feels quite like home. The idea of having to defend or debate their own beliefs leaves them feeling unsettled, as if each confrontation chips away at the hard-won peace they've cultivated. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Rather than engaging in endless debates or trying to sway others to see things their way, many seniors choose to walk a different path. They recognize that sometimes the greatest strength lies not in arguing but in silently honoring one's values. To them, avoiding these clashes isn't an act of surrender or avoidance. It's an intentional act of self-preservation. They have learned that not every disagreement needs a resolution, that some arguments are better left unspoken, and that their peace is far more precious than any fleeting satisfaction from winning a debate. This choice reflects a profound understanding that life is short, and each moment of peace is a treasure worth protecting. The reluctance to engage in complex relationships and conflict doesn't stem solely from a fear of value clashes. It also arises from the weight of responsibility each relationship carries. Every connection, whether it's with friends, family, or acquaintances, comes with its own set of expectations, calls to return, events to attend, and obligations to fulfill. For many older adults, these expectations begin to feel like an invisible burden, pressing down on them as they navigate each day. They understand that maintaining relationships, especially those that require constant attention, can become an exhausting chore rather than a source of joy. Instead of joyfully connecting, they may feel obligated, forced to rearrange their schedules to meet others' expectations, or pretend to be cheerful when they're weighed down by their own inner struggles. After years of putting others' needs ahead of their own, they now find solace in prioritizing themselves. There's also a painful truth that many older adults have learned through hard experience. Not every relationship brings happiness. Some friendships have ended in heartbreak. Some relationships have taken a toll on their emotional and mental well-being. They've been let down by people they once trusted, betrayed by those they believed in, and left hurt by individuals who once played significant roles in their lives. This history of emotional wounds has taught them to be more cautious, even selective, about who they allow into their inner circle. Instead of clinging to relationships that no longer serve them or that only bring tension, they choose to let go. They release connections that don't offer empathy, kindness, or support, preserving their energy for those who genuinely lift them. It's a hard-won understanding that holding on to relationships out of obligation or habit can do more harm than good. By letting go, they protect their emotional well-being, making room for connections that truly matter, ones built on mutual understanding and shared compassion. It's not that they desire to be alone or disconnected. On the contrary, Many seniors yearn for meaningful relationships that are rooted in simplicity. They want connections that don't require grand gestures or exhaustive conversations, just a gentle understanding. It might be the friend they can sit with in silence, the neighbor who greets them with a warm smile, or the family member who offers a listening ear without judgment. These connections, though simple, bring profound comfort and are like anchors of calmness, grounding them in a world that often feels too fast, too loud, and too chaotic. In this simplicity, they find a unique peace. Relationships that don't come with strings attached, that don't demand constant attention, and that don't risk emotional upheaval become precious treasures. These are the connections that bring genuine joy, a joy that isn't dependent on endless phone calls or frequent visits. Instead, it's a joy that comes from knowing they are understood and accepted without conditions or expectations. In the end, the decision to sidestep complexity and conflict isn't an act of withdrawal from life. It's a conscious, brave choice rooted in wisdom. It reflects a deep understanding of what truly matters at this stage in life. Older adults have reached a point where they recognize that true happiness doesn't come from maintaining every relationship or trying to please everyone. It lies in nurturing their sense of peace and preserving the calm that brings them joy. By choosing simplicity, they make space for an inner serenity that flows through each day like a quiet river, steady, calming, and profoundly fulfilling. This joy is pure and unclouded by the complications of others' expectations or the pressures of social obligation. It's a joy born of self-acceptance, a love for the quiet moments, and an appreciation for the beauty of a life lived with fewer entanglements and more peace. Part 2. Essential preparations for a fulfilling solo life in old age. Entering the later years of life with the prospect of living alone is a journey that invites both courage and careful planning. While the thought of spending these years independently may feel intimidating, it's also a chance to cultivate a life that is truly yours, rich in purpose, filled with joy, and anchored in self-reliance. Preparing for this chapter of life means more than just adjusting routines. It's about creating a life that resonates with peace, comfort, and fulfillment. To thrive alone in old age, it's crucial to develop intentional habits that prioritize both physical health and emotional resilience. Physical well-being becomes a cornerstone, and with it comes the importance of regular exercise, nutritious eating, and preventive care. Building routines that reinforce strength and vitality can make a significant difference, empowering you to stay active, mobile, and independent for as long as possible. This is about honoring your body for the strength it has given you over the years and preparing it for a future filled with independence and dignity. But the heart of solo aging also lies in nurturing your emotional well-being. In these years, we have a unique opportunity to build a life filled with the things that genuinely bring us joy. It's essential to cultivate emotional resilience through hobbies, meaningful connections, and even new friendships. Whether it's gardening, painting, reading, or simply enjoying the quiet moments with a cup of tea, these are the practices that enrich your spirit and make each day fulfilling. Living alone also brings a beautiful freedom to design a home that truly feels like home. Create a space that reflects your soul, a sanctuary that is safe, cozy, and filled with memories that bring comfort. Surround yourself with things that inspire joy, love, and peace. This stage of life can be an incredibly rewarding one, and the freedom to embrace it fully, just as you are, is a gift. With thoughtful preparations in place, you'll find that aging alone doesn't have to be lonely. It can be one of the most deeply satisfying journeys. This is a time to live intentionally, to care for yourself with compassion, and to experience the beauty of your own company. Embrace this path with pride and confidence, knowing you've built a life that honors both your past and your future. 1. Taking care of physical health. Taking care of your physical health is truly the cornerstone of leading a joyful, independent life as you grow older. Embracing the journey of aging alone requires us to respect our bodies as they change over time and to nurture them with intention and love. As the years go by, our mobility, strength, and overall physical capabilities naturally begin to shift, and it's easy to feel a sense of loss when we notice the small limitations creeping in. That's why establishing healthy habits early on can be such a gift to your future self, a true act of self-compassion and foresight. Imagine starting each day with a gentle walk or a relaxing swim, feeling the warmth of the sun and the rhythm of your heartbeat. It's not just about exercise, but about feeling alive and connected to the world around you. Physical activity like this doesn't only build strength and endurance. It becomes a ritual that keeps the spirit uplifted. Engaging in regular exercise, even if it's just a few minutes a day, keeps the body resilient and active, helps protect against falls and injuries, and strengthens balance, which becomes so vital with age. Nourishing the body is equally essential. Eating meals rich in vitamins, minerals, and fiber can feel like an act of self-love, fueling not just the body but also the mind. Think about the joy of preparing simple yet wholesome meals that satisfy the taste buds and energize the spirit. Cooking can even become a therapeutic ritual, one that brings pleasure, comfort, and a sense of purpose to each day. The satisfaction of knowing you are feeding yourself well can be a small but powerful joy. More than just physical benefits, staying consistent in these healthy habits has profound effects on mental clarity, energy levels, and overall mood. There's a sense of empowerment in being able to care for yourself, in knowing that your strength and independence are gifts you've nurtured over time. Taking care of your physical health isn't just about adding years to your life, it's about adding vitality to those years, feeling more present, and truly enjoying every moment with a sense of gratitude and inner strength. 2. Cultivating a strong support system. Living a solo lifestyle can be an empowering choice, but even the strongest, most independent individuals need a network of support around them. It's essential to remember that living alone doesn't mean you have to face everything on your own. Nurturing a strong support system is not just beneficial. It's a crucial lifeline that brings joy, security, and a profound sense of belonging. Staying connected with friends, neighbors, or community groups provides that wonderful blend of companionship and independence, offering the warmth of friendship without the pressure of constant social obligations. Imagine the comfort of knowing there's a trusted circle of people who care about you, ready to check in or lend a hand when times get tough. It's a reassuring thought, like having a cozy blanket of support around you, especially on those days when loneliness creeps in. Technology plays an incredible role in this as well. Video calls and social media allow us to bridge any physical distance, making loved ones feel just a heartbeat away. The beauty of modern technology is that it empowers us to maintain meaningful relationships even if we're miles apart. When you cultivate these connections, you're ensuring that while you may live alone, you're never truly alone. You're surrounded by a web of warmth and care, a reminder that independence can coexist with companionship. Living solo is an adventure, and having a support system not only keeps you safe but also adds layers of joy, resilience, and peace to that journey. 3. Financial preparation. When we think about the future, financial preparation is one of the most crucial gifts we can give ourselves, especially as we approach the stage of life where independence means everything. Planning for retirement can feel overwhelming, but crafting a well-thought-out, realistic financial strategy can make all the difference in how we experience our later years. By setting aside funds for healthcare, budgeting meticulously, and maintaining a reliable emergency fund, we can breathe a little easier knowing that unexpected expenses won't catch us off guard. Nothing brings peace of mind quite like knowing that you're ready to handle whatever life may throw your way. It's wise to regularly check in on your finances, keeping an eye on the inevitable changes that come with aging. Medical expenses often rise, and home maintenance can become a bigger burden, but a proactive approach helps us stay one step ahead. Simplifying financial obligations and paying down debts now also lays the foundation for a future unburdened by financial worries. Each debt repaid is a weight lifted, a step closer to genuine freedom. Imagine the empowerment of knowing that your well-being is fully within your control, that your choices aren't dictated by financial constraints but by your priorities and desires. Financial independence allows us to live on our terms, with dignity and autonomy. In those precious years, free from financial stress, we can focus on what truly matters: nurturing relationships, pursuing passions, and relishing the simple joys of life. Financial preparation isn't just about money. It's about building a future filled with freedom, peace, and the boundless joy of a life well prepared. 4. Making your living environment safe and comfortable. Ensuring your living environment is safe and comfortable is one of the most thoughtful and empowering ways to prepare for solo living in your later years. It's not just about practicality. It's about creating a space where you feel at peace, confident, and in control. Simple modifications, like installing sturdy handrails, adding ample lighting in every corner, and placing non-slip mats in key areas, can profoundly impact your daily life. These small adjustments are like a gentle reassurance, letting you know that your home is ready to support you, no matter what. Beyond safety, decluttering and organizing your space can bring a deep sense of relief and freedom. Imagine a home where everything is within reach, where you don't have to worry about tripping over items or navigating around obstacles. Clearing out unnecessary items not only reduces the risk of accidents, but also opens up your living space, making it feel airy and welcoming. It's almost as if you're breathing new life into your surroundings, embracing simplicity and focusing on what truly brings joy and comfort. There's a certain peace that comes from knowing your home is ready to support you fully, that it's a place where you can live independently and confidently. Every thoughtful adjustment, every extra measure of safety, adds to your sense of security, allowing you to move freely and live fully. In a safe, well-organized home, you're free to focus on what matters most. Whether it's enjoying your favorite hobbies, connecting with loved ones, or simply relishing the quiet moments without the nagging worry of physical limitations or hazards. This preparation isn't just about making a space, it's about making a sanctuary, a place where you can truly thrive. 5. Mental and emotional wellness. Mental and emotional wellness is a profound aspect of aging gracefully and living a fulfilling life. While solitude can indeed offer moments of peace and introspection, it's equally important to stay mentally engaged and emotionally connected. A quiet moment alone can recharge us, but it's those activities that spark joy, curiosity, and wonder that truly nourish the soul. Developing hobbies like reading, gardening, or exploring new skills can be immensely rewarding, as these pursuits not only provide mental stimulation but also allow us to reconnect with the things that make us feel alive. Imagine the thrill of diving into a new book, nurturing a plant from seed to bloom, or mastering something new, a painting technique, a language, or even a favorite recipe. These activities bring a sense of purpose and accomplishment, and they remind us that there is always something new to discover and enjoy, no matter our age. Writing in a journal, practicing mindfulness, or meditating can also be deeply comforting, offering a gentle way to process thoughts, manage stress, and maintain clarity. These practices encourage self-reflection, helping us stay grounded and resilient even on difficult days. Additionally, participating in community events or volunteering opens doors to new connections, purpose, and a feeling of belonging. Helping others, seeing familiar faces, and engaging with the community bring warmth and fulfillment that are difficult to achieve in solitude. Ultimately, having something to look forward to each day, a book to read, a task in the garden, a community event to attend, becomes a vital anchor, a reason to rise with a smile and a heart full of anticipation. This sense of daily purpose fuels our inner happiness, allowing us to feel not only accomplished but also connected to the world around us. In this way, we continue to grow, contribute, and find meaning, even within the cozy confines of our own home. 6. Planning for self-care and medical needs. Taking time to thoughtfully plan for self-care and medical needs is not only essential, it's one of the most compassionate things we can do for ourselves and those who care about us. Having a trusted healthcare provider who understands your unique needs, keeping up with regular checkups, and maintaining a list of medications are vital steps in ensuring that you feel safe and supported. By proactively managing your health, you empower yourself to face life's challenges with strength and resilience. Consider going a step further by investing in home health monitoring tools, such as blood pressure cuffs or glucose monitors, which allow you to stay on top of your health independently. These small, simple actions can give you a profound sense of control and peace of mind, knowing that you're equipped to detect and address any concerns early on. In addition, having a plan for accessing nearby medical services, especially during emergencies, can be incredibly reassuring. For those times when you might need extra assistance, a medical alert system can be a true lifesaver, offering both you and your loved ones comfort in knowing help is just a button away. Taking charge of your health doesn't just reduce the likelihood of unexpected medical issues. It lets you focus on the things that bring you joy. By caring for yourself in this way, you're gifting yourself the freedom to live more fully, knowing that you've prioritized your well-being. Let self-care be your foundation, enabling you to cherish each day with a sense of gratitude, confidence, and hope for the future. 7. Maintaining a positive outlook and adaptable mindset. Living alone in later years can feel like a profound opportunity for self-discovery, a chance to indulge in what brings genuine joy without the need for compromise. Adopting a positive outlook, paired with an adaptable mindset, can truly transform this stage of life into a time of fulfillment and inner growth. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. Aging naturally brings its challenges, but embracing change with an open heart allows us to find resilience and contentment in ways we may have never experienced before. This is a precious time to explore what genuinely makes you happy, to practice gratitude daily, and to cultivate a sense of peace within. The world may be changing around us, but by nurturing a flexible and positive approach, each day can feel like a fresh beginning, even with its ups and downs. Planning for a solo journey in old age isn't just about preparing to live alone. It's about creating a life where independence becomes a source of joy and strength. By focusing on practical preparation, maintaining our health, fostering meaningful social connections, building financial security, and nurturing mental well-being, we can carve out a life that feels richly independent, deeply content, and peacefully fulfilled. Living alone needn't feel like a limitation. Instead, it can become a time of ultimate freedom, a period where your space reflects your unique spirit, where you are truly at home within yourself. Embrace this journey with open arms and confidence, for some of the best, most peaceful, and joyous years may be waiting just around the corner. As we wrap up this journey of embracing positivity and independence in later life, I hope these insights have given you a fresh perspective on the beauty and potential of solo living. So, what have you learned so far? Take a moment to reflect on one thing that resonated with you and share it in the comments below. What will you bring into your own life to make it more fulfilling and joyful? If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay connected with more inspiring content. Thank you for being here with us, and remember, the best years may still lie ahead.